I just wanted to say I'm a graduate from the University of Pittsburgh. I graduated in 2005. I studied philosophy, I studied economics, and I did learn a lot. I did read a lot about Marxist philosophy in college. I didn't read a lot about free market economics, to be honest. It wasn't until I got out of college that I started reading a lot more about free market economics. And in college, I took a real interest in politics, and I think my concerns, I think, are shared by a lot of the people in this room. I know that there's something really wrong in this country. There's big problems with our economy. I'm anti-war. I'm against the war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq, and I always have been since the beginning. And I guess I was tempted. The sentiments expressed in this play, I'd be real tempted back then. And I read Howard Zinn's People's History, and was real moved by it when I read it. And I'd be tempted to agree with it. But as I've studied free market economics over the years since I've got out of college, I have to say that, in all honesty, I've really come to believe that free market capitalism is the way to get to the things that we all want. And that's something that if I was in this room 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I probably would have kind of scoffed at myself. But I mean, one of the things from the play that struck me was whenever the Marx character is talking about the history of free market, the free market, and says something. I think there's an example of like railroad subsidies. Was that what it was? And I mean, I would argue that's not a free market thing at all. That's a subsidy. That's taking from one group and giving to another. Mm-hmm. And we have the equivalent today of bailouts to banks. There's probably most people in this room are against the bailout. I would think, no matter where on the spectrum you are, probably everyone knew that was just corrupt to the core. But I mean, I would argue that that's not free market at all. What we have today is not free market. We haven't had a free market in decades. And whenever you give government the power to take money from one group and give to another, like railroad subsidies or like bailouts, that's not a free market. So the more I study free market economics, the more I really honestly feel that the things that we all want, that's the way to do it, and that's not what we have in this country.
Our last